All right, welcome back to another Saturday series.
All right, so this week's workout, we did 250 thrusters at 95 pounds. That is the entire thing. We had nothing else we did. It was 250 thrusters straight, you go, I go, and just for time. Like, how fast can we do 250?
Yeah.
So, I guess we could talk a little bit about how we arrived at that as the workout, because I mean, it's a pretty silly workout. There's not really a lot to it besides the one thing, but...
Yeah, well, we haven't done thrusters in a while. We did heavy thrusters, I guess, but we haven't done like kind of volume thrusters in quite some time. So this week I was like, let's throw thrusters in the workout, and I thought throwing a couple things with it. But then I was like, if we do a big amount of thrusters for time, that would be terrible. And you know what? It was even worse than I thought.
Yeah, so we had the idea originally, like when you thought of it, you had the idea of having every 2 minutes having burpees in it, but like, I don't know why
we didn't do that.
But that just turns me off for some reason. Like the idea of having to stop the main thing to go and like move around, especially like a burpee, like for some reason I was really averse to the idea, so I was pretty happy that we just settled on doing just the thrusters, honestly. But either way though, this is a lot more like cardio intense than what we've done in the past few weeks. And it showed big time. So the way we did it, we broke it up. We didn't really have like a specific rep scheme that we were shooting for.
No, man, you started with 30 reps. I thought we were going to do like sets of 10, take it nice and easy through the workout. It's fine. And then you start off right from second one. You just busted out 30 reps.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny. I just thought that would be a fun little thing to do. But in my head, I didn't really like even prepare for it. I didn't really add up like how many I would have to do, because I mean, it's 250 total, it's 125 each.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was thinking like, I'm just gonna rep out like half of what I need to do all in one big long set, and then didn't really think much past that. So
no, it wasn't half at all.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was that it would be funny. It wasn't really. So I mean, was it efficient? Like, no, but you know. Do I regret doing it? Yes, I do, 100%. It was very, very silly. So either way, when we actually went through the workout, like once I'd done that first like big ass set of 30, I was so ripped up from that first set. Like I was having trouble like just bending my knees and walking around. Like it was a lot worse than I expected. So going back and watching the footage the next day, like editing it, right? Like this morning, I was looking at the depth on some of my thrusters, and it was nowhere near where I thought it was. I thought I'd kept the same depth the whole way, but my legs were so ripped up that I was getting like quarter squats. Like realistically, a lot of my reps here, if you watch, like maybe even starting this round here, like no reps after no reps after no reps. So just despicable performance on my part. Really, really embarrassing. But that being said, we still did get thrusters or something like a thruster done in the course. Yeah, see, look at this right here. It's like, I'm not even breaking parallel, but that was how bad doing those 30 at the beginning was.
No, that was the worst. Like I tried to, like I counted to 30, and I was like, okay, this is stupid. Let's see what I can pump out. And I was like, I'll at least get 20. I got 15, I think, and that was as far as I was going. I was like, no, I can't even get past 15. I was like, that'll kill me for the rest. Like, look at you laying on the ground here, like. The absolute worst.
The video doesn't really even do it justice though. Like this one, like it felt. I mean, I puked. I puked right between the first round, that last round there.
You did.
It really doesn't do justice to just how terrible this workout felt. Like it really was just absolute ass. You didn't have any time to recover from your piece there before the next one had to go down.
Not the slightest.
Yeah. So either way. So if you were to approach something like this, obviously, if you're looking to get your time down, which is the goal, right? Like I would absolutely recommend that you have an actual strategy going into it, and you don't just try to like mess around and figure out how many you can do. Because anything like this, if it's an endurance test, you don't want to go all the way to failure on one set, because the recovery time, it's not going to pay off, you know.
Not the slightest.
So yeah, approach it intelligently, right? Don't do what we did. But
we did.
Don't do what
that was you. I got half of your reps for the first set.
Well, no one stopped.
I still couldn't catch my breath after that.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. But I mean, either way, I was pretty pleased with the performance overall. I mean, even going through that, we did keep pretty consistent going to the end. But you know, 22 minutes and 17 seconds isn't so bad for 250 thrusters.
You know what? No, that's not too bad. The first we were quite far into it. Like 7 minutes in, like we were doing pretty well. I was like, man, we're gonna get this done pretty quick. And then it got a lot slower and a lot slower and a lot slower. And then my last few rounds, I did sets of 15, but I broke them into like 5s.
Yeah.
And I throw it down and pick it back up, throw another 5.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what it was. I mean, I think going back, if we'd reapproached it, I would have probably said, like, let's limit it to a set of 8 or a set of 10 each with, like, specific amounts of rest in between
Oh,
sets.
God, yeah.
That would have made it so much more repeatable. But they just added up. They added up really, really quick. So either way, that's the whole workout for today. 250 thrusters at 95 pounds. I'd recommend you give something like this a try. But if you do, obviously come at it with a plan, you know.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Go enjoy it.
Well, that's the whole workout. I appreciate you guys watching.
Awesome. All right, guys, so this is our last 2 full weeks of programming.
Yep, so this is the second and third week of the block that we introduced in the last video. So if you watched our previous video, the week 17 Saturday series, that is the start of this giant block of programming. So that video is going to show you week 1. This video here is going to show you weeks 2 and 3. So these ones you see on screen right here, these blue program cards, these are for the week after, so week 2. And the green ones you'll see here in a couple minutes are the ones for week 3, the week we just completed.
Yeah.
So follow those in order. So before we go any further into what this actually was and the breakdown of what you're seeing in the program cards here, one of the things that's brought in is this program has back down sets. Okay, so to explain this, if this isn't something you've used in your own training, what we're doing here is that if you see on the program card, right, the very first thing where it says an exercise, like for instance, a squat for 4 sets of 8, you only do the first set of those 4 at the prescribed percentage. After you finish that first set or your top set, the following sets for all these program cards are done at 90% of that weight. So you'd start out with your first set of 8, okay, at the full percentage, and then all the following sets are at 90% of that initial weight that you did. And the whole purpose of that is just kind of to conserve the effort that you're putting into the workout, so you still hit your top set at the prescribed weight, the prescribed intensity, but then after that you back down to just 90% of that to get the rest of your volume in without taxing your nervous system too much more.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's the whole thing. Either way, these 2 weeks, there's a little bit of differences week on week in the actual exercise selection. So it's all kind of built to be in such a way that your third week, each third week that we do in this program will kind of be like the test out week, right?
Yeah, and the week beforehand, we're kind of prepping into that, kind of like with a pause squat, with our pin press bench, and with a box squat.
Yeah, so that's one of the cool things that you see here, like the day 1 here, right? So you got the high pin bench, so you can overload that, like the one I'm doing right here. You can overload that short range of motion so much that it'll actually be a little bit heavier if you do it right than the bench you're going to do later in the week. So it just helps to have that overload piece in the beginning of the week, so that way in the end of the week, when you actually test out the movement, you've already had that heavy ass weight in your hands once and done it successfully. So like that nervous system prep essentially before you go into the actual movement and test it out again.
Yeah, and so far it's worked pretty well.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I've been in a little bit of a cut the past few weeks and, lost a few pounds. So usually, your strength is going to suffer as you're doing that a little bit, but I've not found that at all. This program's done a pretty good job of conserving the strength that I put into it.
Our mesocycles are going pretty well. Yeah.
So either way, tune in to the end of each video to find the rest of this program. This is obviously the first 3 weeks of the whole 12 weeks. So we're going to go back through this cycle a few times with small modifications here and there. But if you tune in each week, cut to the end portion of the video just like this, and you'll see the program cards. All you got to do is take those program cards, fill in the weights that work for you and the corresponding percentages, and then complete them in order.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions about that? Hit us on Instagram or shoot us a message here.
Awesome.
But appreciate you guys watching.
Enjoy.